Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future videos. So today, we are not going to be doing a review. We are going to be doing Shoto Todoroki versus Zuko. So, My Hero Academia, Shoto Todoroki versus Avatar: The Last Airbender, Zuko. I thought this would be a cool little video to do. I know there's a couple of them out there, but I figured I'd put my spin on it as well, so why not? Also, I currently cannot find Harley Quinn Episode 5 online, even though it's already released today, so you might be getting that on Sunday instead of today. But moving on, let's do a kind of general compare and contrast. So obviously the most general comparison is yes, they both have scars, and yes, they were both caused because of a parent, more specifically their father. Now you're thinking, oh, well, yeah, Zuko's dad definitely burned the crap out of the side of his face, but Shoto's dad didn't. That was his mom throwing boiling water on his face. Well, guess what? The reason she did that was because she saw so much of her father in him that she just couldn't stand looking at him. Basically, it was an arranged marriage, so both of these were actually arranged marriages, as far as I know. Both in Avatar and My Hero Academia. And basically Endeavor, like the Fire Lord Ozai, is a terrible human being. And basically forced himself probably on his mother, and she was not happy about it. It burned the side of his face. So yeah. So both of them in general also have evil fathers. Basically, you may say that Endeavor isn't technically evil, but I mean, just look at his whole family situation. He doesn't know how to be a father. His entire gimmick is, oh, I want to be stronger than All Might. And then he becomes the number one hero after All Might loses his powers. And now he doesn't know what to do with himself. Keep in mind, I am not basing any of this off of the manga. I am just basing this off of the anime to this current point because I am currently caught up with My Hero Academia. So basically, season 1 through part of 4, not fully 4 yet. I think we're on like episode 10 of My Hero Academia right now, 10 or 11. So moving on, next they both have mothers that ran away. So yeah, obviously Zuko's mother was thought to be killed, but then we got a little comic nidbit, I think, from what I remember seeing, and they did actually find his mother. And then Shoto's mom basically got put into a mental institution because after that whole incident with Shoto, she is just not right anymore. But luckily, as a also comparison, they do both reconcile with their mothers again. And that's kind of a little happy ending right there. Both of them obviously have very strong firepower as well. They are probably elite in their class. Comparing, like, for benders, Zuko's probably up there as one of the top firebenders, and as elementals, we'll call them, in My Hero Academia, Shoto is definitely up there in terms of raw power. They both also have anger issues. A lot of anger stems from their anger towards their fathers, and it does for a certain amount of time. It fuels it, but at the same time, it's not completely controllable. Like if you look at Shoto example and the kind of what the heck was it called? The games there that they were fighting. He basically just killed the tape guy like with one shot of that ice. Just completely wrecked him in the sports festival, because his dad was like, use your firepower, and his dad was watching, and he was like, I am renouncing your firepower. Look at how crazy I am. Same with Zuko. He is able to defeat many people with his anger. Obviously, that becomes an issue once he has a change of heart, but we'll get into that momentarily. And kind of the final compare that I have is the girls love him. Just if you look at several of the episodes, all the girls in the class are loving on Shoto, and all the girls in the Fire Kingdom are loving on Zuko, even with that big old scar on his face. So the girls love him. Girls love him. So the contrast, obviously the biggest contrast is going to be ice. So obviously ice. Shoto obviously has dual elemental powers, where Zuko only just has the fire. However, Zuko, in retrospect, is probably faster than Shoto because he has the ability to redirect lightning through his body. So he's kind of lightning quick, very fast reaction time, definitely more battle experience. That kind of brings me back to my next bulletin point, is battle experience between the two. Obviously, Zuko is older than Shoto, and he has a lot more fighting experience. He has basically been trained to be a warrior since birth, where Shoto is basically just now getting into that style of training right now in his, like, I think they're in like they're still technically in their first year of high school as far as I know, possibly second year, but I'm pretty sure they're just still into their first year of high school. All right, so next we have the contrast is kind of relying too much on power and emotions to control it. After a while, Zuko basically learns that he can't just put anger. He has to, stem his source of fire from a different place than just anger, as we learn when he meets with the dragons and trains with them and trains with Aang with the dragons. So, say like Shoto basically right now is doing this. He's putting way too much into his anger, too much into his emotions to control his abilities, too much. He's just angry at his dad all around, and he tries to, I believe, it seems like he just kind of taps into that, doesn't even think about it every time he's using his abilities, and just basically he's not relying on his fighting skills. That's 90% his abilities. Zuko has kind of learned that he needs both to have strong abilities with his fire and strong actual fighting skills, as we can see when he uses his swords against different enemies as well, and just general hand-to-hand combat. Zuko definitely wins in the hand-to-hand combat. Inner peace. So I'm assuming at some point Shoto is going to very much be the same as Zuko with the whole inner peace. He's going to have a father figure, someone that's a better father figure than Endeavor, I'm assuming, at some point in time, to kind of give him his inner peace, be happy with who he is, understand that it's not his father's power, that it is his own, and that he doesn't have to do what his father wants him. He can choose his own destiny. While Zuko was very much, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do exactly what my father wants. Shoto is kind of the exact opposite, where he's like, I'm going to renounce him and never do anything he wants and to completely ignore him. What you do, regardless of how terrible the human being is, there's always something you can learn from them, which Shoto doesn't seem to figure that out. But Zuko does eventually learn this through the help of good old awesome Uncle Iroh, and I think that's what we need Shoto to have eventually. We need him to have an Uncle Iroh to bring him back to where he needs to be. The next we have is kind of accepting who they are / going on their own path. Yet again, Shoto does not accept who he is. He doesn't want to be Endeavor's child. He doesn't want to be number one because Endeavor wants him to be number one. He just wants to be, I think, a good hero. There's no indication that Shoto wants to be the number one hero pretty much at any point in time. He wants to be a very good hero, but I don't think I've ever once said, I want to be the number one hero. Next, Zuko obviously trying to go on his own path. Zuko was so set on capturing the Avatar, and it took him a very long time to finally go on his own path and figure out what he wanted to do. Next, we have in the next bulletin is kind of less fire experience. So basically what I mean with this is obviously Zuko has had his fire his entire life and has been basically using it his entire life, fighting as a warrior, training as a warrior. Where Shoto, on the other hand, we don't know how much he used before his mother burned his face, but basically, minus the sports festival, we haven't really seen him use that fire or train with that fire. He is very well adapted with his ice, but at this point in time, he is not very great with his fire powers at this point in time. And then the last I have at this moment is working well with others / valuing their opinions. So now both of them, in the beginning, they don't work well with others. They're all about themselves. They do what they need to do. And 90% of the time, it gets done. But at the same time, it doesn't always get done, as we see with Zuko. And Zuko is finally able to, after having a change of heart, rely on others, help others, be helped by others, and kind of go on his own path. Shoto, because we haven't had enough character time with him yet, I'm assuming it is going to be very, very similar, where he is going to value other people's opinions more and not just, jump in with his own idea, thinking it's the one and only idea every time. He needs to learn, kind of when he was fighting Eraserhead with Momo, that other people's have ideas, other people's have opinions, in order to, defeat the enemy at hand or complete the task at hand, etc. So who do I think at this point in time would probably win in a fight? Honestly, I think I would give it to Zuko right now. Yes, Zuko does not have the ice ability, but Zuko is very good hand-to-hand combat. If Zuko gets close enough to Shoto, he would definitely be able to put him down, no problem. Of course, would he be able to get close enough? That is the real question. I think right now that he would be able to, dodging the ice attacks, using his fire to melt ice when and if needed. But as time goes on, as Shoto finally accepts his firepower, honestly, I think Shoto, in the long run, would win. As I said, we need to see more of his character development, where he is going, what is going to happen between him and Endeavor. I know it's already kind of semi-talked upon in the manga. I have not read the manga. I'm completely basing this off of the anime and everything I know about Avatar: The Last Airbender as well. So, right now, Zuko's got the win, but I think I think he would win the fight, but not the war, basically. These are both two great characters. As I said, both have similar backgrounds, similar families. I don't know about the siblings, unless the whole Dabi is Shoto's brother is true. Then we would have very similar sibling stories as well, which I'm perfectly fine with, because obviously My Hero Academia is taking all of its ideas from different places, because there's a lot of things out there, and sometimes you're going to run into the same idea, and if you're a fan of that particular show that the idea was taken from, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're mad. It all depends, up to you. But as I said, right now, Zuko for the win. Maybe Shoto in the long run. Maybe I'll do another comparison once we get some more Shoto content. But for now, Zuko definitely has the upper tier. So, my name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below, who you would think would win if these two awesome characters got in a fight. And as always, have a good one.